Hi everybody, welcome back to Cat's Book Nook. Today is Wednesday, so that means this is a Top 5 Wednesday video. This week's topic is books set in creepy places. I don't read a lot of creepy place books, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do last week's topic because I wasn't around last week because I was on vacation. So last week's topic was books with witches in them. So I pulled out 6 books because there's one that I want to mention that's really kind of old and I've never heard anybody talk about it. So I'll get to that in a second. And that'll be the last book I talk about. It was really kind of hard to pull these off the shelves because I didn't realize I don't read a lot of books with witches in them. Paranormal creatures, yes. Witches, no. So it was a little bit interesting to do this. And I actually had to include mages in this one too, since they do have aura power source in and to themselves. So with that, I'm going to start with the most recent book that I read because I really, really liked it. And that was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This book was awesome. It focuses on a witch and vampire and their relationship along with their relationship in their their different cat subsections and how they're not supposed to be together, and then what happens when they are together is part of book 2, and how Diane and Matthew are just supposed to be these. Diana is silver and Matthew is gold in an alchemy sort of way. So what happens when you put gold and silver together? According to alchemy, they merge and they procreate, and we go from there. So book 1 is them meeting and getting the storyline set up for what is going to happen within the trilogy. Very good setup. Shadow of Night is turning out to be just as good. So, witch books. Alright, second book. And it's actually part of the Den of Shadows Quartet by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. We've got Karen, who was in, I want to say, it's not the one I'm thinking of, Demon in My View. She was in Demon in My View, and then Sarah ends up in Shattered Mirror. She was really good. She actually has another story, All Just Glass, that isn't part of this book, but is a separate book that focuses on their powers and their mother's powers and just witches in general, and why witches don't like vampires. So again, another book with witches and vampires. So next book is Masks by Patricia Briggs. Patricia Briggs wrote 4 books in this series. This is, I think, the first one that she ever did. It's been edited, but and edited and re-released. So I like this story a lot better than I like the Mercy Thompson series, and I'm not ashamed to say that. But this focuses on Aralorn and Wolf, who you don't really realize that Wolf is the son of the head magician, head wizard, until close to like middle of the book. Like, if you've read the book all the way through, you know that you knew it when you first meet him. But really good book, really good magic system in this one, and I love this book. I've actually thought about picking this book back up this year already, and I read it, say like February, so yeah, good book. Next book actually fell on the floor, so give me a second. Next book, Anne Bishop's Daughter of the Blood trilogy series. I think it's a series at this point because she's got other books that stem from this. Really good book, very good magic system. I loved Janelle's character, not so much in this one, but in Heir to the Darkness and Daughter of Heir to Shadows and Queen of Darkness. Really loved her in Queen of the Darkness. Her character just came out and it was fantastic. And even though she didn't want all this responsibility, she knew how to take care of her people. And the people wanted her to rule. So at the end of Heir to Shadows, her magic was that strong that everybody just bowed down and said, you know what? Go for it. Have fun. Be careful, and we love you. So I really like that one. Book number 5 was Wicked by Gregory Maguire. It's very hard to get through, at least for me. Some of the writing can be a little bit difficult, which is why I think I'm having such a tough time. Had a tough time getting through After Alice, also by Gregory Maguire. But Elphaba and Galinda. Galinda is such just, yeah. And then Elphaba is that complete opposite. But this story explains the Wicked Witch of the West so well that it's like, it had me rooting for Elphaba in the end. It had me wishing her Prince Charming actually showed up. And because of this book, I went on to read Son of the Witch, which also focuses on Elphaba's magic and her son's magic, and a revelation for the son that you knew. Going into the book, because it's called The Son of the Witch, you knew what the revelation was going to be at the end of it. So, really good. The magic system in Wizard of Oz is a little funky, but I like the other topics that get brought up in the magic system in this series. Yeah, I think it's a series at this point. Just because it shows, some of the mindsets of people and how being different is not always good. And yeah, it was really interesting to read, and I've read it a few different times, and I really want to read it again so that way I can get to Son of the Witch, because I don't like reading books out of order. It's a little weird for me. So the 6th book that is an honorable mention for this category, and I haven't read it in a really long time, and I bought it because I wanted to read it again, because I'd read it when I was a kid. And that's the Spellkey trilogy by Anne Dower. Yeah, Anne Downer. Really good book. Was done in the first book came out in 1987, which is the Spellkey. So this is actually the complete trilogy. Caitlin is a wild girl child accused of witchcraft and sentenced to exile in the Abbey of Ninth Style, and the Badger, a disappointing ward of the Abbot of Third Moon Sea, who has been ordered to escort her to her final destination. She has one blue eye, one green eye, and it doesn't so much focus on magic, if I'm remembering the story correctly, as much as it does people's mentalities around it. Again, I haven't read this book in like 14, 15 years, but I ordered it as soon as I remembered the name of it and could afford it, because I think I paid like $14. I don't remember how much I paid for this book, but I ended up getting this off Amazon a long time ago. So, honorable mention book that deals with magic and witches and things. So, I hope you guys made it through this video without being like, yeah, no, I'm good. Going to go record the other videos in the series. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye.